Between the Sierra Nevadas and the Rockies, just over the mountains from California, sits the arid sagebrush wilderness known as the Great Basin. It was here, in this desert wasteland, that miners blundered onto the most fabulous strike of silver and gold ever made, the legendary Comstock Lode. Over $400 million came out of the Comstock mines from 1859 to 1878, which in today's market would be valued at over $6 billion. This was the single biggest gold and silver strike in our country's history, enough money to change the entire nation's economy and to fuel the richest and wildest boom town in the West. And Virginia City, Nevada was precisely that kind of place. The town was built right on top of the silver veins that dove deep into the heart of Sun Mountain, about 20 miles southeast of Reno, Nevada. Almost overnight, Virginia City grew from a collection of tents and shanties to a sprawling, rambunctious town of 25,000 characters. And so wild, it had 6 churches and 100 saloons. One Virginia City saloon keeper distilled something he called tarantula juice. It was supposed to kill anything that bit you. It was so rich, it boasted fancy restaurants and drinking establishments, several Victorian mansions, and the famous Piper's Opera House, where the brightest stars on the American stage could be seen. Among them was Edwin Booth, a member of the nation's most famous stage family, and brother to the man who would slay President Lincoln 3 years hence. Like most of these wild boom towns, Virginia City had no history, and as such, people came from all over the country to lose their identities and start life anew. Julia Bulette was one such soul who recreated herself in the midst of Virginia City's boom, turning to the oldest profession, the only way for an unattached woman to make her way. She became the wealthiest madam in the territories and earned the miners' affection to such a degree that she was made an honorary member of the fire department. Oddly enough, most of the other popular women in town were bestowed with the same honor. Virginia City could also claim the best newspaper in the West, the Territorial Enterprise, where a tenderfoot reporter named Samuel Clemens began his career. Clemens would become one of America's greatest authors, writing under the pen name of Mark Twain. Clemens had come west with his brother in 1861, looking for a new life.
Virginia was a busy city of streets and houses above ground. Under it was another busy city, down in the bowels of the earth, where a great population of men thronged in and out among the intricate maze of tunnels and drifts, flitting hither and thither under a winking sparkle of lights, and over their heads towered a vast web of interlocking timbers that held the walls of the gutted Comstock apart. Imagine such a framework 2 miles long, 60 feet wide, and higher than any church spire in America.
While the silver miners were the best-paid miners in the world at $4 a day, their subterranean workplace was stiflingly hot and dangerous. You could boil an egg in the steamy thermal waters, a true living hell. The Comstock's wealth even financed the Union's cause in the Civil War, giving the North an incredible advantage over the impoverished agrarian South. San Francisco millionaire William Ralston built his Bank of California by achieving total control over the Lode and molded San Francisco into the Paris of the Pacific with his vast silver profits.